Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and today we're going to talk about the way volunteers and a charitable organization extend your tax dollars and help care better for more animals at the Peninsula Regional Animal Shelter. My guest is Aubrey Jervis. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I could just talk about pets and the shelter all day long.
So could I.
But today's topic is mostly about the Friends of the Peninsula Regional Animal Shelter. It's so hard to say all that. And you guys use an acronym, but I hate to do that for people who aren't used to it. What is the organization? When was it founded? What do you do?
So our organization, Friends of Peninsula Regional Animal Shelter, or Friends of PRAS, we've been going for a couple years now, but our purpose is to basically support the mission of continuing support for PRAS, like the actual shelter. Mm-hmm. And we do things like fundraising, but we also do things like employee appreciation efforts and also enrichment for the dogs and the cats and the pocket pets that are there, and different programs to just kind of help support the mission of the shelter.
And I think, too, you all sometimes take animals out into the community to remind people that there are beautiful, wonderful, adoptable pets. I know I've seen you at a brewery.
Yeah, so that program is called Expeditions, and it's something that we incorporate into one of our programs sponsored by Friends of, and it's called Pick Me Pets. And so one of the board members will kind of grow a little bit attached to one of the long-term residents, and we take them everywhere in the community. I've taken them down to the waterfront in Hampton. I've taken them to Waterside in Norfolk. We'll go, and something as simple as ordering an 8-count from Chick-fil-A and going to Peninsula Town Center and sharing it by the big Christmas tree, or something like going to the beach or a walk in the park, or even something just as simple as like letting them hop up into the back of your trunk, turning on some Christmas music, sitting in the warm heat where it's just like peace and quiet for them to curl up and take a nap. It's so fun.
That's, I don't think about that. But also, most animal shelters don't have long-term residents. I mean, you think of that at what typically is a no-kill shelter. And this, we are working to be basically a no-kill shelter where animals who are adoptable, we will find them a home.
Sure.
And obviously we have to take dangerous animals, we have to take sick animals, so there's always going to be some level of that, euthanasia, really. But for animals who are adoptable, you guys go to great lengths to find them homes.
Yeah, absolutely. I foster for the shelter, I volunteer at the shelter, and then I serve as a board member with Friends of. And in all of those capacities, sometimes it is challenging because you know that not every animal gets the happy ending that you're hoping, but at the same time, even though it's sad to think about that, it's even sadder to think about people not willing to help or not willing to spend their time there. And I can't say enough just how hard the shelter staff works and just how much they care about these animals. And I volunteered at other shelters, both in the area, locally, and out of state. And I can say with confidence that the staff at PRAS really does care, and it hits them hard, just being so overwhelmed with high capacity right now. And they really could use the help, the support, and the encouragement. So.
And it also helps the animals. If they're a long-term resident and living in a crate around other dogs where there's like noise and commotion and all that kind of thing, like you said, just taking them out for an hour and giving them peace and quiet and fresh air. I mean, the dogs get walked a little bit, but the staff doesn't have time to really take them on an excursion like that.
Sure. Even if you can't go off-site, sometimes my schedule gets a little bit tight, and so I try to multitask with volunteering, but also like last year I was training for a half marathon, so I figured I'll just multitask and get my run in with the dogs. So I take each dog out for a mile and we'll go run around the parking lot. We get our steps in that way, and it's twofold. It helps me out, get my training in, and it also helps the dogs get some energy out. And it's something simple, but it works.
What a great idea. So you would be looking for, first of all, when you raise money, what does that go toward? There are things our tax dollars don't cover at that shelter.
Sure. It goes to pretty much anything and everything you can think of to support the shelter. So a lot of it goes towards enrichment for the dogs and the cats. So that looks like treats or blankets, or we just purchased a ton of these plastic bins from Home Depot that the dogs, they love to curl up in as just a little safe space in their kennels. And it's so cute to see them in these little plastic bins and their little furry donut shapes. But it goes towards that. It goes towards, sometimes the staff just could use a hug. So sometimes we cater lunches for them, or we have little treats that we'll stick in their mailbox, or it goes to any supplies that we would need for a fundraising event. We do a lot with the breweries. We also have another fundraising event coming up on December 10th. It's an opportunity for families to take their resident dogs and have them be photographed by a fabulous photographer. Her name is Nicole, and she's with Sweet Ellie Photography. And that's another one of our fundraising efforts. She has worked with us so graciously in the past to do a lot of different themed photo shoots. So we do like Valentine's Day shoots. We've had lemonade photo shoots. This one will be at City Center in Oyster Point, and she'll be photographing families so that they can use the pictures on their Christmas cards.
That is so cute and a great idea. So, if you've gotten people out there interested, how do they interact with the Friends of the Shelter?
So, if you Google Friends of Peninsula Regional Animal Shelter, it'll pop up on Google, our
look
website.
on Facebook, yeah.
Yep, we're on Facebook, and we're also on Instagram.
Yep. And what kind of things are you seeking? Donations?
Always, because they go such a long way. The shelter does the best they can with what they have, but that's why we're there to help support, fill in the gap. So donations, definitely. Support at events. When we're at breweries, we do a lot of like fun trivia nights or just other fun events that are very family friendly. You can bring your pets to, and definitely volunteering at the shelter. I think that spending your time almost goes the longest because it's something that everyone is so limited in, but it's so impactful.
And how do you feel after spending an hour with the dog? Let's talk about impactful. I was thinking to the dog, but it's good for the person.
Dogs, and I wish I could speak more on cats. I'm just a dog lady myself, but dogs seem to be one of the few things that really ask you for nothing but your time. And I can do that. They're good listeners.
And they give so much.
They do.
You feel better. It's why they're therapy animals. It helps you as much as it helps the dog, I think.
Sure. And after spending time with them, they're just so goofy and they make you laugh. And sure, there's slobber and mud everywhere by the time you're done, but it's so much fun. It's so fun.
Thank you, Aubrey, for coming to tell us. But thank you also for all that you do, because I know you are there a lot of the time.
Oh, yes, ma'am. We always can use more volunteers, for sure.
Thanks. So if you are not able to take in a dog into your home, to get a new dog, to foster a dog, do think about the limited sort of volunteering for an hour or so at a time. And giving donations, there's a list on the Regional Animal Shelter of what items they need. Money can always go a long way and do more amenities to help the animals than our tax dollars actually cover. And do look up this organization, but they do a tremendous amount of work to help all of our animals here in our community. Thanks for watching.